Okay, so today I'm going to read the final part of Numinosum, an alchemical reverie in a Blakean mood. Maybe I'll close that door. I was reading Hillman this morning, and he makes the point, that very crucial point, that the alchemical process is not simply a movement from one stage to another, like from black to white to yellow to red. It doesn't go like that. It's all mixed up. Things are happening, different things are happening all the time. And there's different states come to the fore for various reasons that are part of the process and part of the person. And sometimes there's a particular progression that looks like that normative black, white, yellow, red thing, but it's not fixed, and that's not the end. And it's not like you're going to get there and go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you individuated. Yeah, right. Okay, so this is section 14. It begins with an epigraph. From the Anacreontea, fragment 12. Some say the half-woman Attis went mad shouting for lovely Cabell in the mountains. Breeze stirs mist, rises off the bay, lit with moon's cold glow. Magic world teems with dreams beings, a long white path on dark swollen sheen, quiet surge below. Body's chthonic depths can be a royal pain in the ass, a proposition associated with desire's occasional maelstrom released into the day shoves terror of alone, and where the hell are you into the catbird seat to wreak what passionate havoc they can on unexpected lives' tender touch. Quiet surge has been known to rise on occasions connections yield more passion than expected, having brooded unknown in the deep, lay waste to casual constructions of normal. She gently touches your soul, and both are bound in a field of tender play where each finds desire's heart in the other's words. Balm of her love eyes soothes infant pain, leaves them at the mercy of her mad desire for more joined than flesh can bear. Union's murderous meld leaves nothing distinct behind. No you, no me, no you, no me, no world, no love, though it's declared as she backs towards the door and the shit hits the fan. 15. If terror births joy, or joy winds up in terror, don't freak out. You are among the chosen. If only you can build a container to hold them both, and the knowledge they bring of a world beyond marvelous fantasy of a wedding somehow escapes foul deposit of pain and grief no conjunctio worth its salt would dream of leaving out, as if love was ever painless, as if rage wasn't its dark, passionate twin. To trust them with your love, you must trust them with your anger. The passion flower having unfolded a further bloom. This one, a hell's gate, pours out black, churning chaos, shit tumult of lost selves, prima materia's hunger and pain changes the name of the game, or just leaves it more clearly etched in tender flesh. That's the sign you've been looking for. The container is at hand, outside the garden, past the roses. Soul-making is a bitch, especially given the great deal death gets out of it. But what are you going to do when passion marks last way out of spiritual cruise control's preset limit in quest of a little ecstasy amid automatic furniture's consistent posture's dream of containment? So go ahead, blow the lid off, kid. Her revenge on the world poured water on her fires, drowned her in a flood of demands, stream from a fantasy, claims the real for itself, wounded, partial world, fathers bound her to, and she packed the kids in the back seat of Gypsy and headed for the super bloom she knew was out there, eyes of fire with anger and passion, refuses surrender, even when the earth splits amid the flowers and he drags her down into darkness, a hell of screaming beings. She would fuck them all, fuck her way out, burning with passion, blinded with salt. That's from my mother. 17. Was it the long ago brief smell of flesh, rich with flowers and earth, or the smile, tentative, open lips parted, words swollen with knowledge of soul, its work and trials, or sea surge in eyes fanned, banked embers, reached out and touched, and were lost in flared desire for more than they thought they had in their separate worlds, sank together in oozy depths of dream, swam for a while, entwined in shared minds, love of love cradled by soft words, wove spells. In love's mind unfolding, love's damp limbs, close as smoke, animalic dream. Words gather, break, moan, a boy tumbles song into open lips, singing inside song, his inside woman parted, welcoming him into our small room. Fueled heat, till heat burst into flames, licked the walls, consumed it all, incendiary roar, a pyre lit in love's name, left love a black, smoking ruin. Know that this is the only right and legitimate way of purifying our substance. Basil Valentine. 0 loves 1, and 1 adores 0 is an observation worth the cost of another round for the house if this was a country and western bar, which it isn't. But if it was, 0 would fall for 1 like a ton of recycled bricks, and 1 would be really hot for 0's manly ways till it wasn't. Songs of heartbreak follow, though whose heart and what's broken are up for grabs, echo around some desolate soul honky-tonk where one's dream of a chemical wedding twinkles in the gloom against the back wall under the miller's sign. And zero's monstrous hunger for union consumes the works in a conflagration of burning desire and roiling confusion, floods the program with vicious feedback loop, where one's battered harmony stutters, love, 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 as if it was an enormous Band-Aid that could erase the world's pain, and zero, lost in a delirium of numberless love beyond love, clings to one as if one was the very meaning of everything, although it doesn't even know what one smells like. The tragedy of email love surprised with primal eros in flagrante delicto. Flagrante, providing blaze, heats the vessel to temperature required for proper operation, consumes 1 and 0 in flames, leave only white ash behind. '19. The blue-gray bay, slate, mirrors heaven's blue-gray ceiling. Call it home. Falls blaze muted on the island offshore. Heavy with calm death's assurance brings us to the air. Her imminent arrival as black and white world emerges from within world's core. But not yet, while maple and oak, dogwood and poplar burn, one final blaze of golden, silver, flaming passion burns out as quiet settles into center's heart, bare, still, death's leafless beauty etched against slate sky. Hieroglyphic myths of love's sweet touch, wrecked on stones by furious storm out of the north, rouses elemental powers known to raise it all in a spiritual danse apache turned danse macabre, leaves dancers stunned, bruised, bleeding beyond healing's airbrushed outcome, reeling from indelible knowledge of love's black sun dissolves love eyes, neat, luminous world. Okay, now that's done. Everyone's in their place. In chaos, echoes of grief that is hardly human. 20. Orpheus. He filled the highs of heaven with the moan of his lament. Ovid. Ovid. My Ovid. I never expected him to show up, not in this dance anyway, which has been all Aphrodite this and Magna Mater that, and suddenly here's this guy with a lyre on his way to hell for the sake of his beloved. But a moment's reflection yields obvious inhabiting vibes, especially if your mom looks like Calliope and ecstatic harmony of her voice is the first thing you know. Sets the bar high, if you know what I mean, in a world where leaning over to pluck violets can be deadly, what with Hades grabbing girls in fields of flowers, not to mention low-down, no-good snakes in the grass hang around in wait for a nymph to bite, and there she is, the source and soul of song, of joy, sea surge meaning in her eyes caress, then she's gone. Excruciating excision of soul's beating heart. So he packs up his axe and heads down to fetch her back from Persephone's dark house. Singing his heart out, he trudged through hell to reach her, a source of romance for millennia to come, though her part in the story remains occluded. No one ever asked her if she wanted to go back or if she had warmed to the Queen of the Dead, a woman of power in both realms before whom even gods trembled. No one asked how she felt that the story was always about him and his stupid lyre. Some say he heard whispered words behind call his name as the world approached. That last goddamn glance does it every time. Can you see that? Numinosum parenthetical. How do you stop picking at it even after final silence descends and time-hardened love erodes, crumbles? From adoration to life-threatening travels a vector through multiple dimensions of psyche's strange regions, passions, rages, betrayals, blindness, lickety-split. Uncomfortably content and soulless, no contact friendship needs a little salt to counteract too much lunar reflection. What's missing leaves behind a complex logic of love never again to be touched across a table. Healing's not the point. When the black sun appears, you just hang on till it's done with you. It seems a corner of the world's gone dark. I know that's the end of Numinosum. In darkness. Yeah, but that's essential, right? Saul Niger, the Black Sun. I'm going to read Numinosum Aftermath, which is a kind of coda to Numinosum. I know I've read it elsewhere on YouTube and on this site and by itself, but it really belongs here at the end, after it seems a corner of the world's gone dark. Numinosum Aftermath. In all fairy tales and mythological patterns, one is always released again, in spite of everything, but only after one has done the heroic deed. Trying to run away is no good, for you cannot escape. Marie-Louise von Franz. Indelible soul inscription wonders at moon's intent with the cold heat she brings to bear on visions of love's different bodies as they negotiate tumultuous meaning of together's seasons in a kaleidoscopic whirl of tonal inscrutability's fleshless confusions, leaves Saul and Luna adrift in boundless interpretive potential, a veritable hall of mirrors, funhouse style. We forget the gods we think as old are newborn. Aphrodite, Hermes, Kuan Yin, Ganesh, Yahweh, Mammon, even great Mother Cybele are late comers to the party. Where below and beneath, before and beneath, brute titanic powers royal in murky gloom, past farthest edge deep in shadow's dank shadow, hoary, even eldritch, cast into pitchest black to dwell before name, before know, restrained, Virgil says, by chains forged of adamant, an imaginative substance connected through deep, ironic roots to adamare, to fall in love or lust, to love passionately, lost to light, but still topologically informing above with surge of feeling meaning, forms names out of the chaos that turn to light in ritual acts of daily observation, love, anger, despair, fear, joy, the range of incarnate beings, knowledge in all its modes, fine-tuned in days-old infant soul as she cycles through mystery of rage, delight, terror, love, one after the other, trying them on, tuning her soul. Though according to the IT guy, it's just some code kicks in, runs the program, but one way or the other, worlds are birthed, shaped, and rent by the heave from subterranean torsions, undo fragile coherence, unleash mobs of voices, shrill and contesting, and occasional massive eruptions of demonic dark into mind's habits, leaves it gibbering of love beyond love's possible offering. But in the difference lies soul's challenge to embrace what's beyond yet within it, what we bring to it as it is brought to us, light and dark, seen and unseen, known and unknown, twists us around being's poles, flings us willy-nilly into the royal of common day, where we catch a glimpse of a new world in confusion's pain and grief, and are surprised by the greeting of a stranger who is us. So that's the end of Numinosum. If you've actually come along this far with me on that wild journey, thank you. Whew. Okay, later.